going on, friends? My name is John Waldman. I'm a filmmaker based in New York, and today we're talking about my top 10 least favorite features about the Sony FX6. So a lot of the issues that I have with this camera actually have nothing to do with the sensor, the brain, or the camera itself, if you will. A lot of it has to do with ergonomics and some of the physical things and parts with the camera that kind of irk me. So this is just my opinion as an owner-operator of this camera. I've had it for 2 months. I've used it on a bunch of shoots. And if you saw my previous video, I told you my top 10 favorite things about this camera. And so this video is gonna be my least favorite things. Number 1, it's the side grip handle. I don't know what it is, but there's always seems to be a little bit of play when you use it, and it just doesn't seem like it's quite on there. People have complained about it. Shout out to the Facebook groups, you know who you are. Is it a deal breaker? No, but come on, Sony, come on. Number 2 is the LCD screen. So like the side grip, it seems to move, you know, the sun hood that it comes with, it pops off so easily. It just doesn't feel professional. I think they could have done a better job, something to just keep it better in place, because I do think it's a good LCD. It's not great, it's not terrible. This is my complaint video, so that's my second complaint. Number 3 is the top handle, and my complaint is specifically over the course of a shoot day, I find that it tends to get loose after a while. So the way you build this up, you put the handle in and there's 2 screws, you screw it in. I do that, but then over the course of the shoot day, I notice that there's, a little bit of play to it. Number 4, I'm sure you've heard this 100 million times, but the XLR, not built into the body. It's on the top handle. What is that? I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's that big of a deal because, most of the times I'm using XLR, that's when I'm doing audio for an interview, so it's on a tripod anyways, and I haven't found that to be an issue, and it's fine, but I kind of wish one XLR was built into the camera. That being said, I wonder though, if the XLR was built into the camera, maybe the camera would be bigger. And in my previous video, I talked about how much I actually love the size of the camera, so maybe I'm kind of going back and forth with this, but anyways, I just wish they had one XLR built into the camera. Number 5 is the media. The CF Express cards are so expensive. 80 gigabytes is $198, and I believe 160 gigabytes is almost $400. Now, I only have one 80 gigabyte card because at the time of purchase of this camera, they only had those in stock, so that's what I went with. But when I'm shooting 4K 120, I think it's somewhere between 7 and 12 minutes. I don't know exactly. But anyways, that's ridiculous. Now, luckily, I don't shoot a lot of 4K 120. I mostly go into 4K 60 max, which is fine for the V90 SD cards, which I do think are fairly priced. I don't think it's ridiculously priced. But yeah, it's really annoying. They're really expensive. There isn't any third-party options at this time. Obviously, as technology progresses and time passes by, these cards will get cheaper. Number 6, the card reader is not included. I really don't like that they don't include a card reader with this package. I feel like every camera that you buy should have a card reader for the camera. It was like another $150, I don't remember exactly, but it was just another accessory I had to buy. Now I know they have a USB that you can upload to your computer, but who wants to do that? Not me. Because think about it, when you're on set, you have a DIT. That's just not a professional workflow. Sony, you should include card readers with all your cameras. Number 7 is the lack of a 3.5mm jack for a microphone. So, as I complained before, the only way you're getting professional sound on this camera is through the 2 XLRs that are on the top handle, and that means you have to have the top handle on the camera. I wish Sony had put a 3.5mm jack into this camera. I am probably the 10,000th person that you have heard talk about this on the internet, YouTube, wherever. We know this is a big gripe. It sucks, especially what if you wanted to, let's say plug a little, Rode mic or whatever on top of your camera when you're running it on a gimbal. You don't have that option unless you keep the top handle on. Number 8, so I'm about to contradict myself. In my last video, I told you one of my favorite features was the dual base ISOs being at 800 and 12,800, and I have somewhat of an issue with when I am in Cine EI mode shooting S-Log3, when I am at the high base 12,800, for some reason I haven't been able to get the cleanest footage. Now, I do know that if you want the most dynamic range, you should shoot in Cine EI S-Log3, your low bass you get 800, and your high bass you get 12,800. And for some reason, I have not been able to get the cleanest footage. Shout out again to the Facebook group. Someone mentioned that in custom mode that they were going into S-Log3. So sometimes where I feel that gap between 800 and 12,800 is too big, so I'll switch over to custom mode, put in S-Log3, and then I'm able to get all my ISOs back. And then also, which gets to my next point, is I feel like it's a bit of an awkward gap. You know, 800 to 12,800. Sometimes I feel like 800 is a hair too underexposed and 12,800 is too overexposed. You know, I understand there's ways to work about it, but I just feel like it's too big of a gap. And obviously this could change over time. I would love to eat my words. Maybe I'm not exposing properly, so I'm gonna keep practicing. And that, you know, that's why I'm making these videos. I really do just want to share what I am learning as I go with you guys. Number 9 is shipping of this camera. There has been so many freaking horror stories about this camera taking months and months and months, especially in the United States. There's been so much trouble for people getting this camera. I was one of those people. It took me forever. I had to cancel a pre-order order from a different store. You know, it's taking people forever to get their cameras, and I want people to get their cameras. It's brought me so much joy. I want you guys to have the joy. And number 10 is the lack of crop mode in 4K. I understand this is a full frame 4K sensor, but you know what? I needed to come up with a 10th thing, and quite honestly, I freaking love this camera, so it was kind of hard to do it. But yeah, it would have been nice if there was, you know, crop mode in this camera, but I understand that's not possible because it's a 4K camera, and if that was really important to me, I'd be looking at the FX9, but there's a lot of other reasons why I like this camera over the FX9. If there's anything you want to learn about this camera, leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to know. I'd be happy to make a video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a ton more videos about the Sony FX6. Cheers, guys.